Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I am releasing two videos, one on the wintry side and the other on the severe side of Winter Storm Quinlan. This is the severe side of the storm. Now, Quinlan will be moving through the southeast and off the east coast, and doing so, it will be pulling up Gulf moisture as well as bringing in cold air, which is the perfect setup for severe thunderstorms, hail, strong winds, and tornadoes. So this is the Weather Channel page, which we don't usually use for severe thunderstorms, but they do have an article. So at a glance, severe thunderstorms are possible the next several days in parts of the southeast. Late Friday into Saturday morning may see the most severe storms from North Florida to the Carolinas. Damaging winds and tornadoes are possible, and heavy rain may trigger flooding, even in drought areas recently affected by wildfires. Now, the setup late week is that warm, humid air getting pulled up by the low pressure out of the Gulf of Mexico, as well as the cold air behind it from a different angle that creates shear and could create the spin that creates tornadoes. We'll talk about the severe thunderstorm forecast in a couple minutes, but the additional rain forecast in those areas where the thunderstorms will be occurring, such as parts of Georgia, the Carolinas, Florida, you could see a good amount of rain, 2 inches plus in some spots. So let's take a look at our convective outlook. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. Now this is, for the duration of 7 a.m. Friday to 7 a.m. Saturday. So this is all Eastern time. We do have enhanced, slight, and marginal risks. So let's go through the three. We have an enhanced risk in this orange color in 28,000 square miles and a population of 1.6 million people, including the key cities of Tallahassee, Florida, Albany, Georgia, Valdosta, Georgia, Albany, Georgia, not Florida, Panama City, Florida, and Thomasville, Georgia. We have a slight risk across 90,000 square miles and a population of 10.8 million people, including Jacksonville, Florida, Montgomery, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, Columbus, Georgia, and Savannah, Georgia, and a marginal risk across 96,000 square miles and a population of 19 million people, including Charlotte, North Carolina, New Orleans, Louisiana, Atlanta, Georgia, Raleigh, North Carolina, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana. In terms of our tornado percentages, we have a 10%, a 5%, and a 2% risk. We have a 10% risk across 17,000 square miles and a population of 1.1 million people, including Tallahassee, Florida, Valdosta, Georgia, Panama City, Florida, Thomasville, Georgia, and Lynn Haven, Florida. We have a 5% risk of tornadoes across 53,000 square miles and a population of 5.4 million people, including Jacksonville, Florida, Savannah, Georgia, Gainesville, Florida, Columbia, South Carolina, and Albany, Georgia, and a 2% risk of tornadoes across 93,000 square miles and a population of 11.8 million people, including New Orleans, Louisiana, Montgomery, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, Columbus, Georgia, and Metairie, Louisiana. Winds correlate to the categorical risk, so if you're in the enhanced risk, you have a 30% chance of strong winds, slight risk is a 15% chance, and marginal risk is 5% chance. Very minimal hail, but we do have a 5% risk across 64,000 square miles and a population of 7 million people, including Jacksonville, Florida, New Orleans, Louisiana, Mobile, Alabama, Tallahassee, Florida, and Metairie, Louisiana. Day 3, we only have our convective categorical outlook, so we have a slight risk of severe weather. This is from 7 a.m. Saturday to 7 a.m. Sunday across 89,000 square miles and a population of 16.4 million people, including Jacksonville, Florida, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Raleigh, North Carolina, Tampa, Florida, and St. Petersburg, Florida, and a marginal risk across 49,000 square miles and a population of 7.6 million people, including Durham, North Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, Tallahassee, Florida, Cape Coral, Florida, and Columbia, South Carolina. So, as the setup goes, we have this cold air in parts of the northern part of the country, and that will be getting brought down as part of this low pressure here. So the low pressure forms in Louisiana here, and you can see that on the eastern side here, we have all of this draw from the Gulf of Mexico, which includes areas such as parts of northern Florida, southern Georgia, parts of Alabama as well. And with this low pressure bringing in that warm air from the Gulf and that cold air from the northern areas of the country, but originally from Canada, we could see thunderstorms start to spark up in areas of Alabama, Georgia, Florida, as well as potentially in Louisiana as well. Now, this will continue as this new low pressure starts to strengthen. We could see a line of thunderstorms start to form here in the Gulf. And as that continues, we see more cold air drawn from Canada, more warm air drawn from the Gulf of Mexico, and eventually some more fiery thunderstorms can start to pop up here on the south side of this storm. You can see here in parts of Florida, Georgia, along this cold front here, we could see very intense thunderstorms, and there could even be 2 lines with this as well, because it's just that strong of a system and it's pulling in that much cold air. We could see that 2 cold front setup. Now, this cold front continues to move through into areas of the Carolinas, and we could see those thunderstorms move through those areas as well as into further and further southern areas of Florida with those fiery thunderstorms. So let's see how much energy there will be for these thunderstorms. This is our mixed layer CAPE, which is how many joules per kilogram of energy there is for thunderstorms to develop. So as we move throughout the day on Friday, we start to see some of this CAPE, which is that energy, start to move up from the Gulf of Mexico. And as the storm starts to move through, you can see that most of the intense periods of that CAPE, that those areas of highest energy, kind of stay pertained to areas of Florida and Georgia. That is why they are in the enhanced risk other than the slight risk, because they have these areas above 1,000 joules per kilogram of energy, which is a lot of energy for these storms, as well as a possibility of some outer banks of North Carolina getting into that 1,000 joules per kilogram area as well before the system eventually moves off the coast. So second, let's look at our significant tornado parameter. Generally, it's just the same as the Torcon on the Weather Channel, but if you want to pause and read that yellow box, that's the more technical definition. Now, we are looking for the highest number, that is the most severe, significant risk of tornadoes. So as all this energy starts to get produced, we start to see more shear as well from that cold front, and we see that these areas here, let me actually refresh so I can get my readout here so we can have our numbers. But we start to see some areas, such as in Florida and Georgia, start to get into that 1 on the Torcon. And then eventually some areas even close to 2, maybe even 3 in some spots. This is, a pretty good threat, especially for March, where we typically don't have a lot of tornado threats. We start to see more tornadoes as we move through April and May. But with this, we see those oranges, those reds, that is 2 to 3 on the Torcon. And if Arkansas and Iowa were any indicator, this means that, tornado warnings will most likely get initiated for some of these areas, as well as maybe even in parts of the Outer Banks of North Carolina in those 2s as well. But you can see that we're really dodging a major bullet here, as some areas off the coast, such as off the coast of South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, could be up in the 3s, maybe even into some areas of the 4s as well. So we could see, if you are planning on boating, there is the potential here for a lot of waterspouts off the coast of these areas. So make sure to be cautious of that. It's across the entire East Coast as well. It eventually gets all the way up, I believe that's, up to around the same latitude as Delaware, which is crazy. But that is all the information that I have for this severe threat. Please stay safe. Make sure that your alerts are on your phone and to take cover whenever you get a tornado warning. But that is all I have for today. If you haven't yet watched my other video on the wintry side of this storm, I will have it linked in the cards above as well as in the description. But stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.